you're returning, welcome back. If you're new, mwah, to you too, welcome. I hope you like what I'm about to do. It's a little different. I'm not doing a DIY today, but I wanted to post something up this week for you. It is to do with Halloweeny time. It's a spooky, haunted story, I guess you can say. Something that happened to me. They are real stories. So if you have any real stories to say or something you believe or you want to share with us, put in the comments below. That'd be great, okay? Yeah. And you can follow me on Instagram. I am on Facebook on KraftyLeeny. It's at KraftyLeeny, excuse me. Okay, let's get started. It was years ago when I was going through my divorce, my first husband, and well, I had one divorce, but anyway. I was going through a divorce, and it was just me and my 4 babies at the time. We were living in a 4-bedroom house, and we started hearing like weird noises. We've always had like weird little noises, and we just would ignore it. But when I was going through that trying time, it was just so weird. A lot more started happening in the home. I guess from the negativity, I think that's what it was from. But one night, we would hear like noises, and we would see like shadows, and things would end up missing and then turning up. My dogs wouldn't go. I had 2 big dogs, Sassy and Gypsy, and there was times they wouldn't enter a room, or they act like they would just lay and look at the hall and just stare down there. They didn't want to go through. There was times when we would call them in the rooms, come on, and they wouldn't want to go follow us. They would just stop and just stare at the room. But things like that were going on. And one night, my phone had rang. We were watching movies, all of us, me and the kids. We were watching a movie, and my phone rang. And when my phone rang, I was like, well, you know what? They're watching the movie. I'm going to go take this outside. So I went on my front porch and was talking to my friend outside. You know, it's right there. The porch was right there. There's a big window in my living room, and I sat in my chairs, my porch, right in front of that window where the kids were, so I can hear them and stuff. And my daughter said that on the corner of her eye, she said she could see something standing there and staring at them. Wouldn't move. It was just staring into the living room from the hallway. And she didn't want to look, and she didn't want to. She kept saying to herself, "No, it's my imagination. No, it's my imagination. Not to look. It's just my imagination. I'm not looking." Because we would go in the computer room, and we would hear like noises, like we would be in the room or in the kitchen, and you would hear like breathing, and it would be like right behind your ear, like right behind your head, and you would hear it sometimes. So yeah, we were freaked out. So with that, she was like, "I'm not looking. I'm not gonna look." Well, right then, my 3-year-old son Ian pointed up and said, "What's that? What's that?" And he was scared. "What is that?" And he pointed right to where she kept seeing that on the side of her eye. But he's seen it because he was sitting like the couches. He's seen it where he was sitting. He can see straight to it. And he started pointing, asking what that was, and he got scared. And he started like freaking out. And so my daughter got up, and when she looked, nothing was there. And my son, my 3-year-old, said, "It's gone, it's gone." It just disappeared. So they ran out of the house. I'm like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And they're all screaming, crying, and we left. We took my dogs, my big dogs, and all of us. We jumped in the van, and we left to my parents' house. We ended up staying at my parents' house for a week, a little over a week. And When that had happened, my dad was like, okay, this is enough. You guys need to go back. You guys need to see there's nothing there. So I'm like, I'm not going back. The kids did not want to go back. They were scared, terrified. So he says, okay, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to stay at your house and by myself, and I'll sleep in the dark and see what goes on. So he went back to the house, and my dad stayed there, and he slept with the lights off, and he was there for a couple days. Came back, and he's like, there's nothing. I don't hear nothing. I don't see nothing. Nothing. So we were like, okay. So we go back, and when we went back, we would still see like things on the sides or things, and I would just tell it, go away, leave us alone, go away. Or I'll tell him, you know what, we're gonna ignore you. You're not gonna get to us. And we just kept doing that. Where I told my kids, you know what, we're moving. We finally ended up moving and leaving that place. Thank goodness. We ended up selling the house. Okay. Well, the second story I have was, okay, my husband now, my husband, we it was my husband and my son, the one with autism, John. It was us three, and we were living in a cute, tiny cottage off the lake. And we ended up hearing like noises, and like you would hear like dishes and like glass rattle. You would hear footsteps. You would also see shadows again. Really weird. You got this weird vibe, but it was a cute cottage. It was so cute. It looked like from a fairy tale. Really cute cottage. Well, we had just lost our cat Zero. Yeah, our Zero. We had lost him, and we would see Zero. Like we would be sitting there all in the living room watching TV, and you would catch like a little black cat running across. No lie, little black cat running across. And we would laugh and say, oh, that's Zero. There's Zero. He's, hanging out still. And yeah, we would see him. Well, it so happens, it wasn't just Zero. We started hearing, like I said, noises, footsteps, things like that. Creepy stuff, creepy crap, okay? Well, we would kind of like ignore it because we were used to the other house we've lived in. And to us now, it was like, okay, whatever. So we would just look past it all. Well, one day we got ants. We got ants all in our kitchen. And when we got our ants in the kitchen, my husband got a ladder because we noticed, we followed the trail. We noticed that they were coming from above our countertop. Like there's like a space, like say the ceiling and then the countertop. And it was like they were going up into like a corner above the counter. The cabinets. I should say not the counter, the cabinets. And oh my God. He went up there, and right where the ants were going, he fell. And I'm like, take everything down, because we didn't want ant spray getting on anything. So I'm like, take everything down. So he's handing me things, that I had up there. And we didn't see it before, when we moved in. We just put our things up there. We wiped and put our things up there. And we didn't see it before. Well, we see, okay, where the ants were coming from, we noticed he was like trying to feel in that corner, and he pulled down a paper, an envelope, and it had like a paper folded inside it. So we were thinking, he's like, what was crazy was the ants were coming right from the corner underneath where this envelope was, okay? So we get the envelope, and he hands it to me, and I'm like, what's this? And he's like, I don't know, it was up there. It was right where the ants are coming. It's right there. It's up. I'm like, okay, so I get it. He's doing what he needs to do. He's taking care of business up there. And I get the envelope, and I sit down. I go in the living room. I sit down, and I open it, and I'm like, what is it? I'm curious. What is this? Oh, it's so sad. It makes me sad. It was like a goodbye letter, like a suicide letter. No kidding. Yeah, sad. I could not. Yeah. So I read it all, and I wanted, like, oh my God, my heart just got really heavy. I was just like, oh my God. And I told my husband, I'm like, oh my God, look at this. You need to read this. And he looks at it, and he starts reading. He's like, oh, shoot. But he said the other word, And he's like, what the. So we're kind of a little freaked out now because we were like, okay, we're hearing noises and all these things. Oh, and back. Okay, let's rewind a little bit. I'm sorry. I got to rewind a little bit. This person, when we moved in, this person, whoever the tenants before us, left a bunch of stuff. Like like weird stuff. Like there was their bed in the closet. Like we had a big closet in the back, and they left like their bed. They left like dishes. They left just like weird things. And I kept some of the things. Most of the things we just got rid of because we were like, okay, we're moving in. These people didn't want it. We just start getting rid. We just got rid of it all. And I kept a few things too, like cute little dish or cute little, something that they didn't want it. So I thought it was still good, and I was like, hey, I can use this or redo it. So I kept it. Well, it ends up being where we were thinking, okay, maybe this is why all these noises and all these things are going on. I didn't care what time it was. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I got a hold of our landlords and I told them I want to know what happened to the tenant before us, because we just found a letter above our cabinets, and I started telling them basically what it said. They were like, oh, no, no, no. It was a female. I have to say that it was a female because they said, she's fine, she's fine. No, I don't know what that's about. She's okay. We just seen her not that long ago around. And I don't know if they were telling the truth or if they were lying. It just freaked us out. Or the next day, I got rid of all the stuff. I was like, get rid of it. I don't want nothing that was here prior to before we got here. I don't want nothing here. We got rid of everything that tenant had left behind, thinking that maybe that'll slow things down. It did for a while, but then after a while, it started picking up again, and we would be laying in bed and sleeping, and something in the kitchen, you'll hear the footsteps, or you'll hear the kitchen. Or my son, he would wake up, and he'd be screaming, saying that there's something there, that he remembers seeing it, the eyes, or he remembers seeing it, and he would freak out. And I knew he had autism, so when he would have a meltdown and be scared in a meltdown, it was like really extreme meltdowns where we ended up just, I know I'm saying a lot, I'm sorry, but we were really done with it all, where we were like, okay, well, you know what, we're moving. We're from an area where my town is old, where we have a lot of old homes, and like it's a small town. Yeah, I live in a small town. And it was just like a lot of stuff had happened like that, and we were just like, okay, we're out, we're leaving. So we ended up just leaving that home, moving out. But those are some of the scary things. Yeah, I'm telling you. Just let me know. I mean, this is Halloween season. I thought I would scare you a little bit and tell you some of my past scary stories, my little experiences that I've had. I mean, I have so many experiences. I've seen a lot, and I know a lot of people don't believe it. I hope you don't think I'm a weirdo, but yeah, it's crazy. Some of these things were crazy. I mean, you can believe it or you don't have to. I mean, it's up to you. It is, yeah. But let me know if you've experienced anything, or if you believe in things like this. If things happened to you before, it's crazy. Yeah, it is. So just share comments below. I hope you like this Halloween segment. Okay, and give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Ooh. Bye, guys. I'll see you next time. Mwah.